My people, listen. They think we don't know. They think we don't see. But the blood of Africa is boiling. No more puppets, no more chains. Africa must rise by force if necessary.
For centuries, Africa has not been seen as a continent of equals, but as a playground for the West's greed, a pawn in their dirty games of power and profit. At every critical moment when Africa stood ready to rise, Western forces moved to crush our dreams and enslave our future. Patrice Lumumba, the firebrand voice of a free Congo, was murdered with the blessing of Western powers because he dared to say Africa's wealth belonged to Africans. Thomas Sankara, the young revolutionary of Burkina Faso, was silenced because he showed Africa it could stand without begging for crumbs. Kwame Nkrumah, the architect of Ghana's independence and a fierce advocate for African unity, was toppled because he warned that divided we would always fall. Muammar Gaddafi, who sought to create a gold-backed African economy free from the dollar, was brutally executed, his death celebrated by those who still feast on African blood. And the betrayal never stopped. Today, insecurity is no accident. It is a weapon. The wars, the coups, the endless insurgencies are manufactured tools to keep Africa weak and divided. Foreign mercenaries, hidden hands funding terror groups, corrupt deals signed behind closed doors, all crafted to ensure that Africa remains a broken land, easy to loot. Look at Nigeria, an oil giant ruled by puppets who let foreign companies plunder while the people die in poverty. See Kenya, a gateway for Western agendas where elections are bought with foreign cash and policies are written not for the people, but for the pockets of outsiders. Across the continent, Western embassies aren't just diplomatic missions. They are command centers of exploitation. They speak of democracy, but their democracy is nothing but a tool of control. They install leaders who kneel for their masters and turn their backs on their own people. Meanwhile, their own democracies are crumbling, but they dare to lecture us? Africa must wake up. Africa must rise. We must tear off these chains and reject this fake democracy imported to enslave, not liberate. Look to China, once a land torn apart by tribalism, colonialism, and foreign meddling, now a unified titan because it followed its own path, not the one laid out by its oppressors. They centralized leadership, they built for their people, and they crushed the hand of imperialism. Africa must do the same. Our tribes, our cultures, our languages, they are strengths, not weaknesses. But only under a single spirit of unity can we stand strong. One Africa, one destiny. An injury to one must be an injury to all. And hear this truth. If we are not free, African free trade will be a ghost dream. How can we trade among ourselves when we are chained by outsiders? How can we build continental highways, railroads, and industries when insecurity and corruption are designed to tear us apart? Without political and economic liberation, AFCF African Continental Free Trade Area will be nothing but ink on paper, a fantasy sold to us while our resources are smuggled out daily. Already, TikTok and other platforms are awakening our youth. We are talking more, thinking more, remembering who we are. But talk must become action, conversation must become revolution, education must become liberation. It is not enough to dream of change, we must be deliberate. It is not enough to hope for better leaders, we must become them. We must make it our life's mission that in the next 10, 20, 30 years, a new generation of leaders will rise, leaders loyal to Africa and Africa alone. Leaders who do not bow to Washington, London, Paris, or Beijing, but who kneel only to the people they serve. It will require sacrifice, it will require struggle. But if we endure, if we fight, when we are old, when we are 70, 80, 90, we will sit proudly, knowing we fought the good fight and we left a continent free. Finally, Africa must build her own weapons. No nation is truly free if it cannot defend itself. No African country should depend on France or America for guns to defend its people. Africa must forge its own iron, build its own shields, wield its own swords, Only then can we protect the future we dare to dream. African youth, the hour is now. Stand up, speak up, organize, educate, resist. The future is ours, if we are bold enough to take it.